Alright, so I am actually leaving for my consult. Yay! So I'm putting in the address that they sent me. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm extremely nervous. I just didn't even feel like eating this morning. Yeah, not exactly the greatest thing. So the time right now is 9:02. Appointment's at 9:45. It said on the paperwork just to arrive 15 minutes early. I have a feeling I might need to be there sooner, but that's why I'm just going to get up there as soon as I can. I have some questions on my phone I'm going to ask. It's just one of those things that I know what I'm going to do, I know what I'm going to ask, etc., etc. I don't know if I'll be able to get... I'm not going to bring the camera in just because it's probably not going to work. I am going to try getting some audio I'll try recording the conversation, so hopefully I can actually remember later what was talked about, not to mention maybe even play clips if I can. So anyways, so here we go. Phone is set. I have about a 20-minute drive, which that probably shouldn't be too far where I'll be needing to go from here on out, because I think even like once I go to get the surgery, it'll be about a 20-minute drive. So anyways, I guess you'll be seeing me in the next video. Who knows what I'll be doing in the next one. I should know information by then. Anyways. Whew. Alright. It's done. As far as actually getting the consult. I'm not even exactly sure how to phrase everything that just happened in there. I'm not sure if I want to say that it was to expectations or not. I guess one sad... So, I need to express my emotional feelings about the whole thing. And the first emotional thing that I want to say is it did actually make me feel really excited talking about the process. I did feel like I could put my confidence in them. Talking to Meredith Gray, she gave me a feel that I could put my trust in them, that they're going to do as best as they can, that they're going to make everything... Dang it, I just now remembering there was one other question I wanted to ask, but it's fine. It's one of those questions I'll just need to hold off for the surgeon. So apparently I got here at about 25 minutes before my... Well, 20 minutes before my appointment. I went up in that building right there. It's not actually that big of a building. It's actually pretty... It's just a 3-story building. Their clinic up there is an all-women's clinic. And I went in there and they had me fill out some forms, nothing real major. You know, obviously they got my insurance, you know, the basic. There wasn't really anything surgery related at the check-in. They took me into a room. I think my wait was about 10 minutes. And then Judy Gay came in and she had asked me if I had my letters. Unfortunately, I did not, because my therapist fell through on me for getting me my letter, but she said she was going to get it to me as soon as possible, and then of course Judy told me as soon as you get it to just forward it to them. So that's taken care of. They're going to also refer me to their PhD, as I expected, to get my final letter from the PhD. That's already started. That is the thing that I walked out of this appointment with, is my actual, is getting the appointment with their PhD. So that's good. That's a good start. They also went ahead and they gave me my letter of hair removal necessity. So as soon as I can find a place to go to get hair removal in preparation for the surgery, I'll be able to start on that process. So anyways, it sat me down. 10 minutes in, she came in, she asked me, she left. I think it was about another 10-minute wait, and then finally Dr. Gray came in. She was amazing. I really loved her casual way of approaching me. She came in and she was wearing Crocs and sports socks, and I mean, she just was all laid back and chatty, which was nice. We went through some questions. I will say, because she kind of got, like, right towards the end there, she seemed like she was in a hurry, which I can't say that's not something I've experienced in a doctor's setting before. All of a sudden you get to this point, and then the doctor's all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, you know, and I told her as she was going out the door I had more questions for her, and she was like, well, I'll be back. And then of course she didn't come back. Technically Judy came back to finish up and give me my letter, and I was like, I still had some questions, which of course turns out I didn't need to ask her the questions anyways, because they were all surgical technique questions, which so just to kind of fill you in, the way that this works is I have to have a consult with their surgeons next. This was just the consult with their initial consult to make sure that I have all of the that I'm all set with everything. As Judy said, March is not unrealistic. I should be able to do March if everything flows through from here on out. She told me that we'll get the letter. As soon as we have that final letter, they can start making the claim through insurance. She says it can take up to 30 days for insurance to approve it, but she says sooner is always better. Obviously, I get started on the hair removal. And then as soon as insurance has it approved, then we move on to me talking to the surgeons for a consult. Being circumcised is not a problem. I guess I should specify that. She said that she says that's the majority here in America, so they pretty much have worked around that already. I can't say that the actual method used is terrible. I think it's a very common method used, which I guess in the video I did last night, the night before, I had talked about I'm not really willing to wait for the method to get better just so I can have a better result, but at the same time I kind of need the best result I can get with the techniques available. There is some questions I still have about the technique that I will want to ask the surgeon, which of course I'll get to do on that follow-up appointment, which I can't imagine can't be more than a month or two away. It sounds like there'll probably be about a total of 4 or 5 follow-up visits prior to the actual surgery. There will be a visit for me to check in where they'll do my final check to make sure that my groin area looks good. Like, I think that's like a week or 2 before the actual surgery date. They'll actually make sure everything's good. Some additional post-op information. The catheter and packing stays in for 1 week. The hospital stay is 2 days. And then they very likely like to have it so that I can go home and I have somebody who to check up on me on a day-to-day basis. They really like to know that I can be self-sustaining in this as best as I can. And the letter is one of the big things, I know, and that's to move forward, and I can't imagine, considering my therapist is going to write a really good letter, I can't imagine this could be too difficult. Now, getting to the nitty-gritty things, I'm pretty sure I covered everything there's to talk about, and I'm sure, because I have audio recordings. I did also ask them that since I am doing this as a YouTube series of me talking about my experiences, if it would be possible for me to get more access to being able to publicize what they're doing. And she did say I could get in touch, that they will get me in touch with their media department that actually handles all that stuff. And so, hey, I mean, there's some hope there that their media department might be able to help me out. So that's a step. It would be really great if I could do more with these YouTube videos, but at the same time, I'm still feeling really nervous about this entire process and just being able to feel Oh, by the way, just a couple side notes. I think the nurse mistaken me for being female to male, because when she got me in the room, she just dead serious looked at me and said, "How long have you been on testosterone?" And I just kind of sat there and just kind of like blankly, I just stared at her like, I'm sorry, what? And then she's like, she just didn't realize what she said. And then after I was like, and she's, oh, she goes, yeah, how long have you been on estrogen? I was like, how did you do, what? I'm sorry, what? So there was that. That was interesting. Of course, there was the basic questions, like they want you to have 1 year of hormones, 1 year of living as yourself. I perfectly pass all of those requirements. Again, it was the BMI. Matter of fact, Dr. Gray even mistakened me for being under the BMI, because she's like, even when you were sitting there, she's like, I had no clue that you were over the 30 BMI. Apparently at one time they had a 32 BMI, but they changed it. So yeah, she sat down and said, you're at 33. She came back in. That's why she came back in after she left. She's like, I was looking at your chart, and she's like, on your chart, yeah, you're a 33. But she did come back and say, we want you to be at 210 or less, which is good, because I thought maybe I had to be at 205, but 210 is realistic. I can do 20 pounds. I can do 20 pounds. It's starting today. I'm going to have to hit that, and that will be something I'll have to do by the time, I assume it would be important to have that done by the time insurance approves the claim. Because when I sit down and actually sit with the surgeon, he's going to have to do the initial check, thumb up. Okay. So now for the nitty gritty, here I am sitting over 10 minutes. I'm not quite sure of what my thoughts are on their result book. It did seem like they were almost going to forget to show it to me. But they did tell me that to take the book with a grain of salt, because the fact that the book had everything in it. She said we don't okay, so she said they've done about 60 surgeries, if she can recall properly. The book had only about 10 in there. And she said, we don't select them. We don't try to trick you. She says we just grab 10 random surgeries out of the last 60 and basically say, have a nice day. So there is that. And I would say, because she even told me, like, when I saw one of the photos that was a 1 week post-op, and it had a lot of bruising in it, she pointed out to me, she's like, if you go to anyone else, she's like, not a whole lot of them will show you the bruising photos. She's like, they usually try to somehow hide that, because nobody wants to see that. I guess you could say that the immediate, like maybe the first 2 week post-op photos really gave me the sense of what I expected as far as recovery. I guess if I really had to be straight up honest about how I felt about the results, they were really about 50-50. And I did tell her, I said, one of the reasons that it's really hard for me to determine if what I'm seeing are good results is because I haven't been, I'll just say it, I haven't been around a whole lot of vaginas. I mean, I've only seen a few in my entire life. I've seen baby vaginas changing diapers, and there's really nothing to think there. And I've seen other vaginas, and I'm not even going to get into what ones I've seen, but I always kind of feel like, I don't know. But she did tell me that they're aiming for the full function orgasms, penetrations. She did say something about if I choose to have the ability to penetrate, which makes it sound like they might possibly offer the zero depth option. But that's beside the point right now, because I do actually want penetration. I wouldn't even be thinking about this, because otherwise I'd just be like, yeah, just give me an orchie and call it a day. I really wouldn't be that bothered by it. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I was actually really happy in the office, and I mean, if they happen to see this, if KU happens to see this video, don't mistake in what I'm saying. I was over the moon excited with my appointment. I was over the moon excited about everything that happened in that appointment, but there is a little bit of it there where it's kind of like, Not to say don't show the book. Show the book. You gotta show the book. That's the necessary evil. But I don't know. I just personally am just kind of like, I feel like the Majora and the Minora just were not exactly up to what I expected. There was a couple of them that were really, really good. I don't really know what to think about it. It's definitely something I'd probably want to be a little more descriptive with a surgeon later, when I finally get to sit down with the surgeon and be like, what I really want. Because she did say that they have done revision surgeries. Of course, that's going to be a whole nother mess with insurance, which I don't even want to think about right now. But I know personally, my big goal, I like some labia. I can't even say the word right now because I'm so unsure of myself. That's my thing, because I feel like that's the one inferior thing about a lot of the SRS surgeries is once it heals, it kind of all heals flat. You don't get a whole lot of skin coverage, a lot of coverage to the whole thing. And I guess that's kind of the kind of vagina I want, is something that has flaps. So, and it sounds like a lot of the revision surgeries require a little more to do that, which I'm not surprised, but at the same time, who can do that? Because I've seen a lot of photos from a lot of surgeons, and I think they most all of them have that same problem. Anyways, I gotta leave this video for now, because this was just to get you the basics, to just tell you what the appointment, how it went. My next step is getting that PhD letter, and now that I have this other letter, I can start, I have laser tomorrow. I'll be able to talk to the person at the clinic, because I don't think they're really set up to do insurance filing, but I might ask her, is there a way that we can, or is there a way you can give me what I need to make a claim through my insurance, etc. So anyways, I will check everybody later, and stay lovely, and don't forget to follow this series, because this is really taking a lot out of me to remember to do this, but it's also for myself and everyone else out there. So anyways, talk to you later. Bye.